You kill me!
As his kick stream rolled on, Raja Jackson, the son of UFC legend Quentin Rampage Jackson, went into the ring of a wrestling match and attacked Stuart Smith. You could see the punches landing on Smith's head as he lay unconscious. By my count, there were over 20 thrown. Other competitors would jump in to try and prevent further damage from taking place, while Stuart continues to just lay there.
Hey, stop this shit, man. Hey. Stop this shit.
The music would come back on as Raja is firmly planted in the corner. One individual talks to him while others continued holding him back. This is beyond embarrassing.
Let's get this straight from the jump. This wasn't a wrestling match. This wasn't a storyline gone wrong. This wasn't a receipt or a work or any of the other excuses people in combat sports like to throw around. Raja Jackson had absolutely no business being in that ring. None. And what he did wasn't entertainment, it was an assault that could have ended a man's life. Here's what went down. Saturday night in Sun Valley, Los Angeles, independent wrestling was doing what it does best. A small venue show streamed on Kick, fans turning up for some fun chaos. But then Raja Jackson, the 25-year-old son of UFC legend Quentin Rampage Jackson, storms into the ring. Not as a performer, not as a trained wrestler, not as somebody booked for the card. No. He storms in and proceeds to body slam independent wrestler Stuart, Syko Stu Smith, and then unloads a machine gun flurry of punches into his head and face while the man is down, defenseless, and very likely unconscious. Over 20 blows. No referee stopping it, no bell. Just fists pounding into a human skull until other wrestlers had to physically drag Raja off the victim before he killed him right there on camera. The audience didn't get a show. They got front row seats to a potential manslaughter. And don't get it twisted, there is no "but he hit him earlier with a can" defense. Wrestling has props, yes. Wrestling has spots that look wild but are rehearsed, yes. Wrestling has stunts where somebody takes a knock and later gets their payback. But Raja Jackson isn't a wrestler. He's not trained in this art. He didn't agree to the rules of that ring. He came in hot-headed, and he turned theatre into attempted murder. Stuart Smith was stretchered out and hospitalized. Facial fractures. Teeth gone. Stable, yes. But stable doesn't mean fine. He could have died. A few more seconds under those fists, and this headline would be about a death, not an assault. And let's talk about accountability. The Wrestling Academy that hosted this show immediately condemned what happened. They said this wasn't scripted, this wasn't agreed, and they want nothing to do with it. Raja's own father, Rampage Jackson, put out a statement saying he doesn't condone it. He even admitted Raja had recently suffered a concussion in sparring. Let me ask you, what sane person thinks it's a good idea for a concussed MMA fighter to walk into a pro wrestling ring and throw live punches? That's not just reckless, that's criminal negligence. Because that's what this is, a crime. You don't get to hide behind the circus of pro wrestling when you've left someone in the hospital with broken bones and missing teeth. This isn't boys being boys, this isn't heat, this is felony battery. And if Los Angeles law enforcement has any backbone, it'll become felony charges. Combat sports operate on trust. Fighters agree to the rules of MMA, boxers agree to the rules of boxing, wrestlers agree to the choreography that keeps the spectacle safe. When you throw all that out the window and just start swinging until someone's skull caves in, you don't belong in a ring, you belong in a cell. So let's say it plainly. Raja Jackson needs to be in jail. Not suspended, not banned from shows, not slapped on the wrist with a social media timeout. Jail. Because what he did wasn't wrestling, it wasn't MMA, it wasn't even a fight. It was a one-sided mugging. Think about the precedent if he walks away free. What message does that send to indie wrestling promotions already running on razor-thin margins and trust? That any fighter with an ego and a grudge can step in and pound someone half to death because it's wrestling? Absolutely not. If indie promoters can't enforce boundaries, then the law damn well has to. And spare me the excuses about concussions, or heat of the moment, or miscommunication. When you throw 20 live punches into an unconscious man's face, that's not miscommunication. That's intent. That's rage. That's violence, and it has consequences. Right now, Stuart Syko Stu Smith is recovering, facing surgery and a long road back from injuries he never agreed to take. His family is updating fans because this isn't about storyline anymore. It's about survival. Meanwhile, Raja Jackson is walking free. That's the picture. That's the problem. So let's put the energy where it belongs. Demand accountability. Demand the LAPD finish their investigation with actual charges. Demand promoters never again let someone like Raja Jackson near a ring unless it's as a paying ticket holder. Because if you don't draw the line here, you'll end up with a tragedy next time. This wasn't a show, it wasn't a match, it wasn't sport, it was a mauling, and maulings belong in courtrooms, not wrestling rings.